now available on e-readers everywhere, from the author of the Simp trilogy, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, Manginas, They Look Like Men But They Act Like Ladies, and The Misadventures of Captain Sable comes Stop Simping in the Workplace. Learn what mistakes not to make with women and protect your job with Stop Simping in the Workplace, available on e-readers everywhere. It seems like there's a whole host of undercover simps watching this channel on the regular. Now, yesterday I posted a video called Dysfunctional Negro Males and Pit Bulls. And many of these Afro-American Negro simps out here got extremely butthurt when I presented my points in that video. That one video got numerous thumbs down, and I got numerous Negroes trying to attack me over the points I was presenting over what I saw in my neighborhood last Saturday when I was going out to go do some grocery shopping. Now, when I was out grocery shopping, I was walking up the hill to this associated supermarket, and I came upon this pit bull who was just sitting out on the sidewalk, not tethered to any sort of post, and just sitting outside of this foreign-owned store. And this individual, this Negro or Hispanic male, left this dog out here and went into this foreign-owned store right on the side of the on 167th Street, and decided he was just gonna go buy his Black and Mild or his 40 ounce or go hang out inside of this store and leave this dog out here, not thinking about the dog's safety or the safety of any pedestrians on the sidewalk. And I made the video to show how irresponsible this individual is and how immature this individual is, because this is the type of individual who pretty much does not has the maturity to understand the responsibility for caring for a pet. This is the type of individual who is stuck in a state of arrested development, because this is the type of individual who may be grown in the body. However, they are still a child in the mind, because only a 7 or an 8-year-old would leave a dog outside of a store untethered or unsecured to anything to go and buy whatever they want from a store, because they don't understand the concept of responsibility. And that's the type of dysfunction we have with many of these grown Afro-American Negro men. And it must have hit a lot of people hard in the chest hearing those truths that I was presenting to them, because only a hit simp will holler when you present points like I presented in that video. Only someone who has a pit bull and has been irresponsible with a pit bull would get upset over that video. Only an individual who has used a pit bull to try to get the attention of these females will be getting upset over it, because the way that dog was shown outside on the sidewalk to me, I've seen numerous times in my neighborhood. I've seen many of these Afro-American Negro males try to make these displays of toughness by saying, I'm going to leave my pit bull on the sidewalk and have it sitting looking obedient to show how much of a bad dude I am. Not showing how, and what they're really showing everyone is how irresponsible they are as a pet owner and how little regard they have for this animal. This is the same point I made in my book, Stop Simping, about how these simps use these pets as attachments. And they pretty much come out here with this pit bull dressed up in the clothes in the wintertime, or they have it walking around behind them in the summertime while they're walking around in their sagging pants and their shirts off, to show how much of a bad dude they are. They're so bad that this dog is obeying them and being submissive to them, and they think this is going to get the attention of all these females out here, when in actuality these females pretty much have no regard for this guy, and they pretty much see him as a weak dude. And the reason why they see him as a weak dude is because he is pretty much presenting to them how irresponsible and reckless he truly is. He's not a bad guy. He's just a loser to most of these women, and they're not impressed by this Afro-American Negro who goes out here with his pit bull playing Mr. Tough Guy. They see him as a joke. And I also think about this other guy, again, who I talked about in the previous video, who had the pit bull and he couldn't control him. Again, another guy trying to show how much of a bad dude he was, but he couldn't make the animal do what he needed it to do. He didn't even know how to control the animal. And this is something, again, I see all the time in my neighborhood with these simps and these Afro-American Negro simps trying to play Mr. Tough Guy. And they think they're impressing these women, and they're a laughing stock. The females are just laughing at them. They're not taking them seriously. And these guys were the ones getting butthurt over the opinions I presented in that video, talking about how irresponsible this individual was and how irresponsible many of these Negroes are with these pit bulls. Because the way they care for this animal shows how little they understand about caring for anything. They do not know how to take responsibility of an animal, and they don't know how to take responsibility for themselves. And that's what makes these Afro-American Negroes dysfunctional, because this single mother pretty much is going to give this boy a dog, but he has not proven that he is capable of even caring for himself. I mean, when I was a kid, in order for me to get something that I wanted, I had to prove that I was capable of taking responsibility for things. That meant I had to make sure that my homework was done. That made sure I had to be passing tests and doing work in class. That meant that I had to make sure that my clothes were put away. That meant that I had to take responsibility. In order for me to get a bigger responsibility, I had to prove that I could handle basic responsibility. And when I look at these Negroes with these pit bulls, they prove to me, by the way they care for this animal, that they can't take care of basic responsibility. And what's even more dysfunctional is that many of these same Negroes who have these pit bulls will go out here, and again, as I said in the previous video, go out here and have children with these females out here. And I want you to think about this. Imagine if this Negro didn't leave a pit bull outside unsecured. Imagine if he left a toddler outside unsecured and uncared for. Guess what would have happened in that case? ACS would be coming to take your child. That's what would have happened if you leave a toddler outside while you go out to some foreign-owned store to go get a Black and Mild or a 40-ounce. Your child is going to wind up in foster care because this Negro has proven he is incapable of caring for a child, in the same way this Negro has pretty much proven that he is not capable of caring for a dog. And when I look at the way that dog was treated, this guy doesn't even look at the bigger picture regarding what could have happened to him. What if I wasn't just some guy walking down the street? What if I was a police officer and I saw that dog untethered and unsecured? I'm going to go investigate, and then I'm going to find that dog owner, and guess what? If I run his name down the system, guess where that Negro is going? That's right, that Negro is going to get arrested for pretty much whatever, and he's going to be sent to central booking. So this Negro is not even looking at the bigger picture regarding his own safety. Again, proving my point that many of these dysfunctional Negroes are incapable of not only caring for a pet, but even caring for themselves, because they can't even look out for the safety of this animal, and they can't look out for their own safety regarding a social situation. I mean, you have to understand that when you are a black male or even a Hispanic male and you are participating in high-risk behaviors, you are putting yourself at risk by just going out here and doing something stupid, because you walking around with the dog unleashed, or you walking around and leaving the dog unsecured, that doesn't look tough. It just makes you a target for police officers, and it leads to you winding up spending a night in central booking. And after reading about central booking, not a place you want to go. But this Negro, again, because he's dumb, doesn't understand the dangers he puts himself in, because, again, he's stuck in a state of arrested development. He thinks that having this dog out here is going to impress the females. And it's not about impressing the females. It's about maintaining your quality of life and maintaining your safety. But the Negro, again, a dumb individual, a stupid individual raised by this single mother, pretty much proving how irresponsible she is, because this is the fruit of her dysfunction right out here, proving that he's incapable of caring for himself or caring for a dog. Now, many of these Negroes who were so butthurt over the opinions I presented regarding their dysfunctional behavior with pit bulls wanted to go into ad hominem attacks. And a lot of these people were so upset, they were sitting there, they were hitting below the belt talking about my long-term unemployment. Now, a lot of these people wanted to say things like, oh, you're unemployed, you can't say anything, and all this stuff. And I'm going to say this. All I need is one job offer, and I will be back on my feet, and I will be back where I need to go. I will be able to just start picking up all over again. All it takes is one job offer. I will be able to pretty much get things going because I've already proven that I can do with limited resources. If I can go out here and publish 50 books, it pretty much proves I am capable of being responsible for something. I am pretty much proving that I am capable of setting goals. But when you have a Negro who pretty much proves that he cannot secure a pit bull to a post in order to go to a store, it proves that this Negro or this Hispanic male is not capable of caring for himself. All I need is one job offer from one employer to go back to being capable of getting back on my feet and moving forward. Even though I am moving forward with the limited resources I have pretty much proven I can do with what I have, and I could do even more if I had more money. This Negro, on the other hand, with the pit bull, pretty much, if I gave that guy $20 million, he would be back in the gutter in less than a week because he has proven that he is not capable of doing anything with the little responsibility he's been given. So if I gave him a lot of responsibility, he would pretty much prove to the world he is not capable of being responsible with what he has. I, on the other hand, can prove I can be responsible with the little that I have, and if you gave me more, I would be more responsible with it. And this is where these Negroes fall apart in their arguments with their shaming language. You cannot shame a person who has been out of work and been proven that they can actually work on their own. I have pretty much proven that I can work on my own. When you can publish 6 books a year on your own, that pretty much proves that you're a responsible person. When you can get out here and put together project after project after project for 7, 8 years straight, that pretty much proves that not only are you a responsible person, you are a consistent person, and you have a track record and a reputation for getting things done. The individual who has a pit bull on the street outside of an Arab-owned store and does not think to tether this dog to something to protect its safety or the safety of others pretty much proves they are incapable of even caring for this animal or caring for themselves. And if this individual has a child, this person pretty much proves they are incapable of caring for a child. And this is something I saw on the news a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago, where a 5-year-old child wound up getting disfigured because of one of these irresponsible pit bull owners who pretty much prove, again, they're not capable of caring for themselves or caring for this animal, and they weren't thinking about the bigger picture regarding the safety of that animal or even the safety of their child. But again, you can't tell this to many of these butthurt African-American Negroes. They get all emotional and upset because you are talking about them and talking about the things that they're doing, and because you're talking about things that relate to them, instead of listening to the message and saying that, look, maybe I need to start being more responsible with this dog, maybe I need to stop trying to use this dog as an attachment, maybe I need to stop trying to show out with this dog to impress people, because that's not what the dog is for. The dog is meant to be cared for. The dog is just like a child. It needs care, it needs love, and it needs protection, because as its master, I am responsible for it, and I am responsible for its safety. But this is a message that goes right over the heads of many of these dysfunctional Afro-American Negroes. Instead of listening to the messenger, they attack the messenger, and then they refuse to listen to the message. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.